Welcome to the Daily Occurrence News. We are bringing the news to you fresh, hot, and ready to deliver. As of October 31st, let's take a look at the progress of this 2024 election early voting results. As of today, more than 58 million people has already voted overall, counting mailing in ballots and walk-in person votes. Now, early voting has begun in states across the country where voters are able to cast their ballots either in person or by mail. Some states provide details about early votes that are cast. Now, Kamala Harris' campaign has pushed for Democrats voters to utilize early voting more aggressively, seen as a tactic to help bank votes ahead of Election Day. While former President Donald Trump has been critical of early voting, his campaign and the Republican Party have also been pushing for voters to cast early ballots. Now, according to the census that was done in 2023, California is the most populated state in the United States, with an estimated population of 38 million. Texas comes in second most populated with an estimation of 30 million. And here are some other larger states that has huge population, which is Florida, New York, and Pennsylvania. Florida comes in number third populated state with an estimation of 22 million. And New York comes in number fourth with an estimated population of 19 million. And of course, Pennsylvania is the fifth populated state. The least populated state of all the 50 states, which is Wyoming, with a population of fewer than 600,000. The population of the United States is not evenly distributed across the states. The South is the most populated region of the country, accounting for almost 40% of the population, where early voting is coming in. Now, looking at all of that, the early voting as of October 31st for the top 10 most populated states looks like the Democratic Party is winning in 5 states, and the Republican Party is also winning in 5 big states, which makes it quite interesting. Looking as if there's a 50-50 chance tie rival for both parties, leaving you at the tip of your seat wondering which way will this election go. Well, let's take a look at all the top 10 states one by one for this 2024 election. First up is California. These numbers are very interesting. California has the most people as far as population, but yet when we look at the mail-in ballots and in-person votes, we only have 5 million that has been cast so far out of 38 million people. That is very interesting. But as we see here, the blue is leading by 49% and the red is 31%. So the blue is leading. And when we look here as far as mail-in ballots requested, we have 22 million that's requesting mail-in ballots, which is an interesting number because out of 38 million, 22 million is a big chunk requesting in mail-in ballots. But yet when we see who have already voted, the numbers are way off. So if 22 million is requesting mail-in ballots and there's only 5 million combined with the mail-in and in-person votes that has already voted, which is only 5 million. So I'm wondering if this number is even accurate. Where 47% is requesting mail-in ballots, yet there's only 26% in the red that's requesting mail-in ballots. So it's a huge chunk of the blue requesting mail-in ballots, but yet most of them haven't voted. So interesting observation. Now, when we take a look at Texas, Texas leading with the population of 30 million that's supposed to be coming in. We have we have 6 million, close to 7 million people that have voted. So it's more people that actually voted in Texas of the 37 million population. But the mail-in ballots that were requested is really low, is about, 280,000 mail-in ballots. Again, out of the 280,000 mail-in ballots, we're looking at 49% of the blue requesting the mail-in ballots. But I think that Texas actually did better as far as people going out and voting. And the red is leading by 51%. So it looks like the red has Texas right now, and pretty cool. Now let's look at Florida. Florida is always a red, historically always in red, leading by 44%. And 5 million people, 5,600,000 people have already voted in Florida. And I think Florida is going to come out red, just as Texas. Let's look at the people that have requested a mail-in ballots. It looks like 3 million people have requested mail-in ballots. And again, the blue, the Democratic Party is mostly the population that's requesting the mail-in ballots. Quite interesting. Moving on to New York. So New York only has less than 2 million people actually voted. With a population of 19 million, it looks like there's a lot of people that just doesn't vote or just doesn't vote early. But the blue is leading by 55%. Looks like the blue has New York as of now. And then look at the mail-in ballots requests. It is like 57%. But yet it's under a million that requested mail-in. So out of 19 million for New York population, less than a million people requested mail-in ballots. But then again, you know, it's the blue. It's the blue that's requesting mail-in ballots. And only 19% of the red is requesting mail-in ballots. Pennsylvania. So Pennsylvania have 1,500,000 that has already cast in their votes. And we have here the blue is leading in Pennsylvania. Looks like it's going to be a blue state at 58% is pretty high, but yet not a lot of people is voting. Yeah, so Pennsylvania has a population of about 12 million. And out of 12 million, 1,500,000 has already voted. The blue is leading by 58% and 32% for the red. When we look at the mail-in ballots that's requested, it's 2 million, but yet we only have 1,500,000 that's already voted. Yes, 55% requested from the blue party, 55% requested mail-in ballots. So it's always the blue party that's requesting a lot of mail-in ballots. When we look at Illinois, we have 1,700,000 people that have already voted, 56 for the blue and 35% for the red. So the blue is definitely leading with Illinois, and 63%, that is a huge chunk of people that is requesting mail-in ballots requests. Moving on forward to Ohio. So Ohio has about 2 million people that has already voted. Looks like the red is leading by 50%. And we have about 1,100,000 people that have requested mail-in ballots. Looks like the red, for the first time, I see the red requested more mail-in ballots than the blue for Ohio. So yes, close to 2 million people have already voted, but the red is leading in Ohio. So it looks like Ohio, the red party has Ohio. And when we look at Georgia, 48% of the red is actually leading. So it looks like the red has Georgia, and a very low percentage requested mail-in ballots. But then again, you see that the percentage is mostly the blue. And when we go into North Carolina, 3 million people has already voted. And looks like there's a tie. There's slightly a tie, 1% tie, where you don't know which way will this go, because we have 33% for the blue and 34% for the red. So it's just by 1%. So North Carolina could go either way, since it's just slightly 1%. It's almost like a tide. But yes, the red definitely has it right now, and hopefully it stays that way. But when we look at the percentage of the mail-in ballots requested is 3 million, close to the percentage that has already voted. So North Carolina looks like they take their voting very seriously. And last is Michigan. Let's see. So Michigan, 2 million people has already voted in Michigan. And for Michigan, the blue is actually leading by 47%, while the red is in 42%. The blue has Michigan as of right now, and the mail-in ballots request is mostly the blue. So it looks like about approximately 2 million people have requested the mail-in ballots for Michigan. And by observation, Michigan and North Carolina takes election voting, early voting, very seriously. The numbers equals out themselves. They're kind of more leveled. You kind of see like a 50-50 type of voting there. So between the two, Michigan and North Carolina, the voting results are just more evenly 50-50, where more people just goes out and vote based on the population. The numbers are just more like an even 50-50. Looks like they take voting a little bit more serious than the other states. The other states has huge difference based on population and actually the people that are really voting. So to recap what we have already discussed about the 10 top states, looks like the blue has California, New York, Pennsylvania, Illinois, and Michigan. And the red is leading in Texas, Florida, Ohio, Georgia, and North Carolina. By observation, we did notice for the 2024 voting out of the 10 top states that the Democratic Party was very heavy on the mail-in ballots. 8 out of the 10 top states, there are a huge number of mail-in ballots. Mailing in ballots is a huge amount when it comes to the Democratic Party, which brings back the suspicion of the 2020 election being rigged by the Democratic Party. Could have possibly be valid information by utilizing mail-in ballots. Overall, based on all analysis of the early votes this far, Donald Trump is on target to win the election with 278 electoral votes to Kamala Harris, 241 and 19 votes in Pennsylvania. As we're getting closer to the final results of the 2024 election, stay tuned by subscribing and following us for the next video with Daily Occurrence News for more updates. Toodles, till next time, stay tuned.